Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance. I met her on Grafton Street, right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. She asked me, what does it mean? The Gaelic ink on your arm. Said it was one of my friend's songs. Do you want to drink on? She took Jamie as a chaser, Jack for the fun. She got Arthur on the table with Johnny riding a shotgun. Chatted some more, one more drink at the bar, then put Van on the juice.
Solid waste management can be defined as a discipline associated with the control of generation, storage, collection, transfer and transport, processing and disposal of solid waste. The aggressive economic development in Malaysia, the solid waste management is relatively poor. The 3 R's all help to cut down on the amount of waste we throw away. They conserve natural resources, landfill space and energy. However, practice of reduce, reuse and recycling construction waste has always been neglected because most of the efforts were focused on handling domestic waste. Population growth and rapid urbanization increasing the waste generation rates. Government has taken some measures in handling these issues by making the 3R concept to be compulsory in every construction project. Waste hierarchy consists of 3 R's as follows: reduce, reuse, recycle. Sustainable waste management remains a low priority among majority of contractors in Malaysia. The failures of contractors to comply with this law will result in fine charges.
Smell of smoke, whiskey and wine as we fill up her lungs with the cold air of the night. I walked her home, then she took me inside, finished some Doritos and another bottle of wine. I swear I'm gonna put you in a song that I write about a Galway girl and a perfect night. She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just
3R practice is an efficient and effective way to reduce waste going into landfills and decrease resource. 3R concept consists of reduce, recycle and reuse. Reducing means choosing and utilizing factors to decrease the produced waste value. Recycling means using waste as a resource. Reusing involves using the waste that still has a usable situation. These are the examples of list of government acts in Malaysia. Policy for Integrated Solid Waste Management in Malaysia 2001, National Strategic Plan for Solid Waste Management in Malaysia 2005, Master Plan on National Waste Minimisation 2006, Solid Waste and Public Cleansing Management Corporation Act 2007, Third Outline Perspective Plan 2001-2010, 8th Nation Plan 2001-2005, NIM Nation Plan, 10th Nation Plan, National Recycling Program 2000 and 2005, National Strategic Plan for Solid Waste Management 2000-2020. Government policies. Provisions on 3R under SWPCM Act 2007. Reduce the generation of solid waste. Use environmentally friendly material. Use specified amount of recycled materials for specified products. Use of method for the purpose of reduction, reuse and recycling of solid waste. Require that producers and manufacturers take back their products or goods for recycling or disposal at their own cost. Require any person to deliver the products or goods to the producer and manufacturer. Limit the generation, import, use, discharge and disposal of specified products or materials. Implement coding and labeling system for any product or material to promote recycling. Use of method for the purpose of reducing adverse impacts from solid waste. Require any dealer to store the products or goods to be taken back to the producer and manufacturer. Establish a deposit refund system and determine the specified products or goods, the deposit refund amount, labeling and the obligations of dealers. Process of 3R concept. Reduce the amount of solid waste that must be disposed of is to limit the consumption of raw materials and increase the rate of recovery and reuse of waste materials. Using vital method. Reduce the waste generated from the construction process, and if can't be reduced, will be reused, and the waste cannot be reduced or reused will be recycled, particularly secondary materials such as metal and paper. Bacteriological decomposition or incinerated or landfill can be done when waste that cannot be recycled. Moreover, the construction and demolition waste management is required various stages for reducing to disposal. Number 1. First, to minimize the amount of waste produced from the construction, reduce. Use the materials more than once, reuse. Reuse materials to make new products, recycle. Recover energy and metals from the waste, recover. Finally, safe disposal of waste to landfill, disposal. However, certain events such as avoidance and minimization, which further depicts the reduction process alongside the recycling operations, which are considered to be desirable. During implementation and also application of 3R principles, people in charge with construction activities should do some tasks for making balance between sustainable improvement and also different improvements in the environment. By using 3R, we can collect different scattered energies in the environment in order to achieve better sustainable buildings. Reduce. The term reduce has been used for decreasing the unnecessary type of energy. In order to reduce different types of waste in the construction projects, we have to create good habits of energy use and among different energy users, especially in the construction industry field. Recycle. It seems very important for the construction activities in order to reuse recyclable materials in construction activities. For example, by using cycling energy, waste heat of air conditions can be used for heating home, and nowadays they made it possible to do some creative activities in the construction site. Reuse. Usually the term reuse relates to converting energy to another type in different types of construction activities. Generally, we can change the energy from one type to another type. For example, we can collect the waste material in construction sites and change them to another type of energy in the related factories. Benefits of 3R concept: lower cost and more business opportunities. You can cut your costs using materials more effectively, reducing the amounts of waste you need to dispose and improving the efficiency of your staff and contractors. You may then be able to offer your services at a lower price to try and win more tenders. Higher level of productivity, decrease the time of projects and increasing the safety. Environmental benefits of reducing construction waste: less waste going to landfill, less use of natural resources, lower CO2 emissions. Example, from producing, transporting and using materials and recycling or disposing of the waste materials, lower risk of pollution incidents. Reduce demands for landfill spaces. Minimizing the amount of waste sent to landfills for disposal can lead to less demand for landfill. Constraints to 3R construction waste reduction among contractors in Penang. Time and cost. Most contractors only focus on short-term economic benefits and are unwilling to increase inputs on construction waste management. Contractors' attitude and low participation. There is lack of effort to practice positive attitudes and perception to improve the waste minimization among contractors' workforce. Lack of enforcement law and regulation. There is very low possibility of improvement in waste management practices if policy enforcement is weak and ineffective, especially in developing countries. Lack of awareness and knowledge. Low awareness and concern among public are among the causes for limited recycling implementation. Lack of coordination. Effective implementation of construction waste management strategies, particularly 3R, requires coordination and cooperation between local, national and regional authorities. Lack of space. Segregation activities involve much such space and require high level of management. Weakness in managing construction waste reduction through 3R is due to existence of some constraint. Awareness and knowledge, and enforcement law and regulation are critical constraints which influence the time and cost. Contractors' attitude and participation, coordination and space for recycling, awareness and knowledge go along with law and regulation enforcement. The 3R principle is a great way to protect our environment and stimulate our economy. Other than being more aware and cautious for all of our actions, we should also seek to integrate recycling practices as well as reducing and reusing habits into our everyday lives and our day-to-day activities so that it becomes a norm better than an option.
Guess you look happier, you do. My friends told me one day I'll feel it too. I could try to smile, hide the truth. I know I was happier